Hey, don't turn it off yet. Here's what's coming up on the Nice Guys on Business.
For anybody that just wants to make a quick buck, like right now, yeah, it's going to be hard to see an ROI immediately because consistency is really key when it comes to online. I mean, you can have a cash injection campaign where you just like do a big push and get a bunch of customers, but that's not really creating a nice, sustainable business. Mm-hmm. And the people that I work with and the people that I get excited about working with, you know, they want to have actual consistency. They want to have a sustainability in their business.
I don't have any money. But what I do have is a particular set of skills, a set of skills that can make life for a man like you a living hell. If you let my daughter go now, that will be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you. And the Nice Guys on Business. Need an education on how to grow your business? The Nice Guys are here to help. Learn about great customer service, networking, and how just being nice can help you prosper. Now, here are your hosts, Doug Sandler and Strickland Bonner.
All right, let's start a recording.
Okay, we're recording. You're recording now, right?
I think I am. I don't know. I just hit a red button. It's never hit the red button. I feel like it's doing its thing. Yeah, we're in. We're good.
It's rolling. Yeah.
We'll just talk. And if for some reason, hey, Nice Guy community, if this does not air on Monday, it means we didn't do it right. If you're hearing nothing but dead air, could you call us? Would they know?
If you're not hearing us, tell us now, please. Raise your hand.
Wait a minute. Hold on, Strick. I got a little raise your hand button now. Do you see I'm raising my hand?
Oh, yeah, I see. Wait a minute. Hang on, let me go to my different window. You're raising your hand. I'm going to raise my hand, too.
Hey, Strickland. Strickland, do you have a question? Can I help you?
We're going to talk about this more in tomorrow's show. I think this is our new Zencaster setup, and we'll get into it. But because today, let's see, first of all, today we want to talk about Overcast because we are still number 2 on Overcast. We got a great guest today, Kamila, but we're going to get into that in a second. Yeah. We're still number 2 on Overcast. We want to beat, there's this little guy, Tim, what the hell's his name? Tim Ferriss?
I think it's Farrell, Tim Farrell, something like that. I think he's Tim Farrell. I think he created the Farrell's ice cream. Right. No, that's not him. Tim Ferriss, you know what? He could squash us like a grape. You realize that at any point he could just turn up the gain and just say, you know what? Fuck you, Nice Guys.
But he doesn't seem like that kind of guy. I think if we beat him on Overcast, maybe he would actually come on and do an interview on our show. That'd be cool.
Holy shit. Oh, yeah. Well, I want to talk, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. I want to talk about some of these great guests and the Nice Guy community. You guys have been like shouting from the rooftops to have all of these great guests come onto the show. I think we're gonna build some traction here. I'll talk to you about it tomorrow, but big name potentials coming on the show.
Okay, but we're already off topic.
Weeks. No, go ahead. So let's
Overcast.
Okay, sorry. Overcast. Thanks. Thank you. We decided in our planning meeting that hey, Strick, you know what?
What?
We had a planning meeting.
I know we're going to talk about it more tomorrow too, but we don't have time for that right now because we got to talk about Kamila and we got to talk about Overcast first.
Okay, why don't you talk about Overcast and I will just sit back because I think I'm just going to interrupt everything you do.
Okay, we know that at least 80 to 90% of you are listening on Overcast and we love you, but what we really need you to do is go to the episodes and press recommend. Each individual episode, by the way, when you press it once, it's just one episode. It's not the whole thing. We want to beat Tim Ferriss on Overcast. It's amazing that our little pissant podcast is already kicking everybody else's ass on like public radio, NPR, and like Jordan Harbinger and all those guys. We're kicking all of their asses, and we have you guys to thank for it. Now we got to beat Tim Ferriss. The only way we can do it is go to Overcast, click recommend on every episode.
So really easy to do that. If you don't know how to do it, just open up your phone. The app is the Overcast app. Click on the cover art. So it's either going to be a picture of our logo or a picture of the guest if you're listening on a Monday, Wednesday, or Friday. Just click on that. Right behind that, there's a little button that says recommend. Just hit that. If you go back and do that from several episodes, it will count as many as you do. So we want to make sure that you're aware that this is even a possibility for you. So thank you for recommending us on Overcast. Let's kick some Tim Ferriss butt. I mean, he's a nice guy and all, but he's got enough money. It's time for us.
Now, today's guest, Kamila Gornia. I mean, this chick, I mean, she's like a kid, but like, it's funny. Like she says, like all the time.
Can I tell you what happened? I want to be really open and honest here, because we got her from Nicole Holland, a very good friend of ours, and another podcaster, a fellow podcaster in this space. And she has a business, and the business is helping people to get to be guests on shows. So, and I know that she would only send us totally qualified, legitimate guests, and she's extremely professional. But I have to tell you, I was a little hesitant, because when I originally saw Kamila Gornia, who was going to be a guest on the show, recommended by Nicole, I was thinking, man, she is really young. And you know what? Shit, I listened to her YouTube videos, and I watched her YouTube videos, and I saw some of her branding. And I'm like, this kid, she's a kid, but she's legit. She's not even really a kid. She's in her, I think, her mid to late 20s, I think. She really does know what the hell she's doing. She helps people blow up, scale up. It just completely blows your brand out of the water, makes you look like a rock star. More than a rock star. And she's been working since she's 12 years old.
Oh, she's been featured on all the major networks, NBC, CBS, ABC, and Fox. And, you think about, okay, if you want to learn about typewriters, you're going to talk to somebody old, right? If you want to learn about social media, you talk to the young people. Shit, they just know it. And look, Doug, I don't know about you, I feel like a big kid all the time anyway, right?
Yeah.
And that's what it's all about. You got to stay young, and you got to stay connected. And she's hungry. She knows her shit.
She definitely knows her stuff. She is she's a blow up, scale up marketing person. She is definitely more of the consultant, the coach. She'll help you really boom your brand in the simplest way possible. Things like sales funnels, she'll help you work on that. Facebook, she really is extremely qualified to work with Facebook ads. Really good. So she wants to help you understand if your sales funnel is converting or not. It's not just about if you're bringing in dollars, but how you're bringing in your traffic. Organic traffic versus traffic that you pay for. Huge difference between those two things, and she does an amazing job of sharing her story and sharing some of her success with us today.
She actually has a great live 2-day workshop coming up 2 days from now. Launch like a boss. Now it's in San Diego, but
come on, that alone doesn't that make her sound like she's a kid?
Launch like a boss?
It just sounds funny. It's a great thing. It's like I would never think of that, because I'm going to be like, launch with my walker. Yeah, the words that she uses on the show, I just step back and I just like, holy shit, this is somebody that legitimately was probably born with an iPhone in her hand. You know the type, right? The kind that innately understands the shit that's going on around us today. And Strick and I, being the old man on the block here, we have to. This is completely a learned skill for us. And for Kamila, she gets it. She gets it right to the core. So I'm looking forward to hearing this interview. Anything more before we get to it?
No, we got all the links on the show notes. And again, on February 22nd, Launch Like a Boss is going to be live in San Diego, but you can go to our website and get tickets to get there virtually. Like if you haven't bought your flight to San Diego and you don't want to go in 2 days, just click the link. You can actually be there virtually, virtual event tickets. So check it out. I think we're really good. I think let's get to the interview with Kamila.
All right, right before we get to that, let's get to the promise statement to provide a learning experience that is entertaining and adds value to your life. That is what we are all about. Strick and I want to make sure that comes to life for you. If you don't feel like we're living up to that 100% or even 90%, if we're somewhere in the 70s, we're not doing well. That means you're not going to recommend us. We want to be a 5-star show for you. Just hit us up on Twitter. @DJ Doug is my Twitter handle. @NiceGuyOnBiz with the Z is Strick's. And we are ready to roll. Let's get to the interview with Kamila Gornia, the C-Suite Network, radio network, is proud to have us as a part of their network. I cannot believe
they're
that
proud to have us, or we're proud to have that. I don't know where you're going with that, Doug.
Either way, we're proud to be on their network. I can't believe they want us, but we actually have come true, and we're bringing them listeners. So this is always good. All right, let's get to the interview. Kamila Gornia right here, the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Blow up. Get your business busting at the seams and create a marketing impression that will blow your competition away. Today's guest, Kamila Gornia, will share why you can't build a house without bricks. One of my favorite videos of Kamila. She is a marketing guru, a social media phenom, and a powerhouse player in the world of booming your brand. Blow up online marketing strategist. Holy shit, what a fucking awesome title. I want one of those. Sounds like a lot of destruction, and we like that on the Nice Guys on Business podcast. Welcome to the Nice Guys, Kamila.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Doug. I'm super, super excited to be here.
Wow, we're happy you're here as well, too. Nicole Holland was the reason that you're here, and she does a phenomenal job with introducing us to amazing guests, and we know that you will not disappoint. So there is no pressure at all right there. So all great stuff online, Kamila. I mean, you're kicking the YouTube channel, a great content, Nice Guy community. We'll put a link in the show notes how you can subscribe to our channel. But I got to get back to like your roots here. 12 years old and running a business, Kamila. What was that all about? How was it 12 years old and you were running a business, and that was a while ago? So how did that happen?
Well, it wasn't like a business. It was a venture. So yeah, so I'm an only child, and this is back when I lived in Poland, and I just got my first computer, and we got dial-up internet, and I was really into, I'm not sure if you know what manga is. It's like Japanese comics. I was really into that. I was like, very, very into that. And no one in my town.
You had me at Pokemon. If you would have said Pokemon, I would have been okay.
I was also very into Pokemon, but I kind of went beyond and just liked all of it.
Okay.
But there were literally only 2 people in my entire town that liked that kind of stuff. My mom was just like, she was so confused about how I even found out that the existence of manga. But anyway, so when I got dial-up internet for the first time, I somehow landed, you know how you go on YouTube and all of a sudden you land in this like weird part of YouTube? That's what happened with me, except with this.
You see, when I do that, it ends up on porn. But okay, but that's fine.
Well, I did not land on porn. I landed on this, manga kind of field. And I was like, oh my God, there's so many awesome websites in Polish that do this. I'm going to do this too. So I basically just like learned HTML in a week or 2 and created my first website. And I had like virtual assistants, I guess, that were not paid because I didn't have credit cards when I was 12. And they were doing the work for me. And I had like 40,000 views in 4 months just through like organic marketing. And
so that was your intro to the internet and to marketing online. And from there, it probably just was a fever. Is that right?
Yeah, basically. I mean, it's like, because you can do anything you want online, and that was really exciting to me. So that was definitely the start.
You get hooked really, really quickly when you start to develop something that it's like, that's pretty cool. I can go in this direction. Let's talk about social media for a second. And what's really challenging to me, and I'm an older guy, so I've had to kind of reinvent my life and my career. So how can anybody be expected, number one, to keep up with it all? So it's not just keeping up, it's knowing how to use it effectively. So talk about that for a moment, because I see you on a number of different channels. I see you have a very nice Twitter following. You have a Instagram. You have a Pinterest account. You have a YouTube channel. I mean, you probably do a lot of Snapchat also, because that seems to be of your generation.
No, I actually don't use Snapchat.
No, okay, all right,
no,
good. So
I tried, and I just couldn't get into it.
I tried it and didn't like it. I kept getting carded in the Snapchat room. So tell me, well, how is one expected to keep up with it all? Because as a marketing person, you really need to be able to know a lot of different channels and be well-rounded. So as a consumer and as a guy that's an entrepreneur, how am I supposed to know how to keep up with it?
Yeah, honestly, unless you're a marketer, you really don't have to worry about all the platforms. I have all the platforms because I'm a marketer, and one of my first career choices, I guess, was social media marketing. I worked in agencies, so I had to have all the platforms. And I think for any entrepreneur or artist or whoever, I think it's a good idea to have an account on each of these platforms, but you don't actually have to use everything. I would pick just 1 or 2 and then just use that, every day or as often as you can. And then it becomes much easier to actually keep up with it. So I use Facebook for the most part. And you probably are on Facebook kind of often too, because everybody does.
Right.
Everybody's on Facebook all the time. So it's pretty easy to keep up with what's going on there. And, Facebook Live is like a very trendy thing right now. And you can tell because you just see more Facebook Live in your feed. And it's pretty easy to kind of figure it out. But Instagram, I mean, yeah, kind of. I do it because they have Instagram stories and I just share wherever I would want to do like word vomit. I just do it on Instagram stories because it's going to disappear.
Interesting.
Yeah. It's kind of like Snapchat, but it's more open. So I prefer it to Snapchat. But Twitter, I mean, it looks like a great following. I use it here and there, but it's not something I use all the time. So I really just use one main platform and then one that is kind of like secondary to that, which to me is Instagram. But honestly, I don't really think that it's like, why confuse yourself? Why overcomplicate?
No, I'm with you. I totally agree with you. I would think from a marketing perspective, though, and people do specialize. We have a friend of mine, Carlos Gill. He's very into the Snapchat scene, and that's the thing that really, I think, he made his mark. So where do you feel like you are making your mark? Is it within Facebook and building sales funnels, or is it within live video, or where is it that you feel like your strength really lies?
Yeah, I would think it's definitely Facebook. I mean, we do a lot of Facebook ads for ourselves, for our clients. So that's a lot of people know me and my company, my agency is my company. They know us for Facebook ad management. So I would say that. Also, live streaming, I think, is something that I do a lot. So yeah, I would say that those are my two like main specialty platforms.
What's great about your YouTube channel and your Facebook Live videos, if you go back, Nice Guy Community, we'll make sure we put a link to subscribe to Kamila's YouTube channel. But what's so great about the YouTube channel that you offer is that it really is extremely genuine video. You're literally watching Kamila live her day, and in the course of living her day, she's taking these videos. I think that one of them was you on the balcony. You were leaving either California or heading to somewhere cold and snowy. I think you were going from California to Chicago, and you were very upset. But your message that you kind of weave through there is all about the program that you're either going to or the one that you're talking about. And what's great about it is it's an unedited raw video. And I really do think that is truly the benefit of something like Facebook Live from a marketing perspective, is that you don't have to be, it doesn't have to be polished. It doesn't have to be this amazing production. You can create your message and build your brand based upon having raw video. Do you feel the same way, or is that not right?
Oh, yes, absolutely. I think it's, we can see through people's bullshit. And when you have a pre-produced video that looks so polished and perfect, I mean, people don't really connect with you in that same way. On live, if you're saying something you fuck up, you got to keep going. You're not going to be like, okay, never mind, guys. Like, forget that I just said. No, you're going to keep going, like as if you're a real human being, which you are. So we connect with that. Like, I'm a human being, you're a human. Like, there's that relationship, that bond that gets created when that happens, and that transparency, that being authentic, being really true to yourself, and like what you're saying is just, here I am. I think that's what really resonates with people, and I think that's what people like. They buy working with me, as in me, not necessarily the product itself. So.
Well, I made a little joke in the intro about you can't build a house without bricks, because I think one of the videos you got a little bit, you started to get into all the architectural terms, and I could tell you were totally not inside your element, but you were still going. You stayed in the whole architecture realm, and it was pretty funny. But again, you made a really great point, and what was so great about that video was how genuine you were, and you could tell the cuts of the video, and it was just very funny. Again, we'll make sure that we put a link to your YouTube channel so that people can see the video. But one of the important points that you make as you're talking about that video is that people hire digital marketers for them to help them, get their brand out there and get themselves known, because they're not familiar doing it. So they're looking at it and they're saying, hey, I have to hire a digital marketing strategist, an online marketing strategist to do my work. Oh, what do you mean the Facebook ad is going to cost me more money? Or the pay-per-click is going to cost me more money. What do you say to people that try to do it all on their own? Or what do you tell people that are shopping and that they really just don't understand? How do you make it make sense to people that there is an ROI on what you offer? So can you share with the Nice Guy community how ROI works in your world?
Yeah. I mean, I think the biggest thing is that for anybody that just wants to make a quick buck, like right now, yeah, it's going to be hard to see an ROI immediately because consistency is really key when it comes to online. I mean, you can have like a cash injection campaign where you just like do a big push and get a bunch of customers, but that's not really creating a nice, sustainable business. And the people that I work with and the people that I get excited about working with, you know, they want to have actual consistency. They want to have a sustainability in their business, which means that, you know, they actually have to be willing to wait a little bit. And like doing Facebook ads, for example, yeah, you're going to have to invest some money before you can see what works because, you know, especially for people that are newer, and it's okay if you do it in the beginning, like yourself, as long as you're actually doing something, you know, you might not know what your people respond to. You might not know if your offer is resonating. Even if you did like a beta test, you never know how it's going to respond to a cold audience. So yeah, you're going to have to spend some money on Facebook ads. Are you going to bring it back immediately? I don't know. Maybe you will. If you do, that's fucking awesome.
Right.
You're in the majority. You're in the minority when that
absolutely.
happens. Most people don't see the money immediately, but they will see it when they keep going, especially if they have, you know, really solid offers or if they work with one-on-one clients, because that tends to be a little bit more of a higher cost or higher priced offer. So it becomes easier for them to get it back. But again, it's not like easy peasy. I'm just going to put it out there. And then, you know, I bought ClickFunnels and everything's supposed to be working immediately, right? Because it's a funnel. No, it doesn't work like that.
Right. Everything is A/B testing and trial and error. You got to figure it out. And answer this for me, though, because I think that this is an area where a lot of people get confused. And I know that I get confused in this area too. And I'm not attacking your industry at all, but let me attack your industry a little bit, okay? People have got to pass the bullshit test. They've got to get past that. I don't know who to trust. I don't know who to spend my money with. Everybody is an online marketing strategist. I mean, honestly, and again, complete transparency, I tried before you came on this show to punch some holes in what I'm going to get with you today. You know, because I'm looking around, I'm shopping around, not for digital marketing strategists, but as a guest, it's important to me that my guest knows what they're talking about because my community knows I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. So it's really important to have guests on the show that know what they're talking about. And every angle, every turn that I made, you passed the bullshit test. It was, yeah, she's young, and yeah, she might not appear to have everything. You know, you're young, so I keep thinking, hey, she's young. What the hell is she going to know? And again, I'm trying to be as transparent as I possibly can be. But on the other side of it, I kept thinking, but look at her YouTube channel. She's got a mega amount of videos here. Look at her Facebook account. Look at her Twitter following. You're engaged. You have proof in the pudding. You have social proof in that people are actually saying good things about you. So it's not just like I'm going to go to Google, find you, and then there's going to be just a complete sham. I'm looking and I'm trying to punch holes in things, as I do with every one of my guests that comes on, and I see that you pass that bullshit test. So, and again, this is a long way to get around my asshole to get to my knee, you know, but I'll just say it anyway. How do people help? How do you pass the bullshit test with people that you are looking for? You know, how do you get your vendors to pass that test so that you actually are hiring someone that knows what they're doing and you feel like you're going to be getting the legit deal here?
Yeah, this is a good question. And thank you for saying that.
Sorry,
I super appreciate it.
That was a long way to get around all that. Sorry.
No, that's awesome. I'm totally like, I'll receive that. That's awesome. So I think for hire, I mean, yeah, there's so many people out there that, you know, they took a course and they think they know everything about, let's say, Facebook ads, because there's a lot of Facebook ads courses out there, and, you know, hire me, pay me, you know, $3,000 and I'll run your Facebook ads, even though I've never done it before. I get it. And it's a little frustrating because I always have, I mean, so often, almost every day I have somebody coming to me saying, you know, oh my gosh, so I work with this person and didn't work out because of, you know, X, Y, and Z. And then, So I think the biggest thing is to, well, first of all, do exactly what you did. So actually do some research on the person. Are they, you know, this is something that's so common. Were they talking about the same thing like 3 months ago or 6 months ago, or are they talking about something completely different? And then go a little bit further out, because there's a lot of people that keep changing direction and following the money versus following what they're actually really good at. Okay. And I see this so often with coaches and like strategists and those types of people. You know, the trendy thing comes on, so they're going to start talking about that, even though they don't really know like how it even, like, they're new to it just like everyone else is. And 6 months ago, they were talking about, something completely different, like mindset, or like, I don't know, so that's a big one, is seeing consistency in what they're actually doing. That's probably the biggest thing. The second is, is there, like, you looked me up on social media. So I actually have an actual following, and I basically, I walk talk. So I would look at that too. If you're hiring a Facebook ad manager, if you're hiring a social media manager, or a strategist, are they actually doing the stuff that they're saying that they're doing, that they're saying other people to do? If they're not, if they're just, telling you strategies and theories, like, that's great. I can read a book for a strategy or a theory, but I want to actually see results. And that person should be seeing results in their own business or how they're showing up as well. So that's another thing for you to think about. I mean, it's not always that case, but I that's kind of what I am guided by, at least. I think the other thing also is seeing if they have any, like, recommendations from others, or if they have testimonials, a praise page, if other people are actually sharing that, yeah, I have worked with this person, I get results, and I love this person, you can trust them. If it's just them trying to, toot their own horn all the time and no one else is really pitching in, or all the people that do pitch in look like they're kind of like fake, that's probably not a very good sign, because there's Fiverr, and there's a lot of people that are making fake testimonial videos, and I've seen it, and it's so gross, but it's something, but you can kind of tell, like, the energy, you can kind of tell if someone's being genuine or not. So I would definitely look at that also. And lastly, I think it's really, you just have to talk to them and, like, actually
I agree. And that would probably be an area that I would almost start with, is the conversation is extremely important. And it's interesting, because that was really the next thing that I was going to get to, is I think it's so important, as we are in this high tech world that we live in, with social media and the prevalence of video. I mean, it can be really, really high tech, and it could be very non-high touch. So how do you add that high touch element into a highly technical channel?
Yeah. So I think this is where live streaming comes into play. And I think this is where just seeing, and this is going to be kind of a weird thing that I'm going to say, but whatever. I like to imagine my people. So whenever I get a new customer, or whenever I get a new, like, lead into, let's say I'm doing a campaign, or I just did a boot camp, and I had all these people join my Facebook group, and we were engaging in there. So I was actually, like, paying attention, and not just doing it because, here, you guys, like, go do this, and then I go off and, strut away on my high horse. I actually listen, and I actually care, and I pay attention to the names of people that I see showing up, and I actually ask them how they are and how they're doing on the action steps that I gave them. So it's instilling that relationship building part in there, and then plus live streaming comes into play, where that's where they really see that unedited you. So when people are hopping on, you can engage with them, say hello, how are you doing? And that's a big part of people. It's almost as good as actually seeing people in person, except, obviously it's not, but it's the closest thing we have to that. So I think whenever you do that, and you don't just do the content, but actually do the engagement part of it, that can really help create more of that high touch experience for people.
All right, so I'm gonna have you enter into a little bit of reality here. Okay, are you ready for a second? If someone was frozen in time in 1980, okay, and they were awakened today, and this is gonna be a tough thing when it comes to priority here. So somebody was frozen in 1980, they were awakened today. What would be the first thing that you would tell them to do if shown access only on how to use the internet? What would you tell them to do?
I would probably tell them to, like, how to create a Facebook account.
Oh, that's good. All right. Interesting.
Yeah, because everybody has Facebook. And if you can figure out how to use Facebook, then you can figure out everything else.
That's so funny. I never even thought of that. What a great answer. And you're probably right. They can reconnect with all the people that probably was in their life in 1980. Listen, that was my life. I mean, that's when I was in high school. So for me, I could probably connect, and I do. I connect with everybody that was back in 1980. That's so funny. Okay, I want you to take off your digital marketing strategist hat for a second and put on your entrepreneur's hat for the next series of questions. This is the rapid fire Q&A portion of our show. I'm going to ask you 5 questions. 4 of them are just 10 to 15-second answer questions. Are you ready to roll?
Yes.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Kamila, be relatable. What do you suck at?
Managing my team.
Okay. All right. Be transparent. How did you pay your bills when you first got going?
My full-time job paid my bills.
I know. I can relate to that. Hey, can we go back to that relatable one? You said managing your team.
Yes.
Tell me a bit. Just talk about that for just a second. I'm going to give you more than the 20 seconds because I think what's so interesting about this is that in just having a conversation with you for the last 20 minutes or so, you seem like a very good people person. You would seem to be a really good person with others. Where is it that you feel that you're not good then at being relatable?
Well, thank you. I think for me, because I'm such a creator and I'm such a generator of ideas and, I just want to create all the time. I'm a very much quick start of a person. So when I get an idea, I just want to run with it. Mm-hmm. And I realize that I have to actually include my team into the process.
Hey, we're back here. We're back here. Kamila, we're back here.
Yeah. And I'm just like, okay, well, yeah. Okay. So and it kind of adds extra steps and that I don't always want to do, but it obviously helps because then everything runs much smoother. So for me, I've never been a good manager. That's not something that I'm great at. I'm great at creating. So I've become much better out of necessity, obviously, as an entrepreneur. It's something you have to kind of develop as a skill, but it's still a very conscious thing. I have to remind myself to okay, let's reach out to my tech person. Oh, okay, let's tell my graphic designer ahead of time that I need this created. So it's just a different process from what I'm used to as I created my previous things. Because a lot of people that start businesses, it's just you.
Right.
So it's kind of getting out of that mindset.
Excellent.
Although on the other side, a lot of people are better at being managers versus creators too. So.
And I appreciate you going into more detail, and that was on me. Because I did feel like I'm not sure that I understood the answer, but I didn't know how it was possible. Okay, let's go into the next one. Be confident. What do you do as an entrepreneur that's as good as it gets?
Marketing.
That's good. That makes sense. And be humble. What experts do you need to call upon to make shit happen when shit's not happening?
Laura Wright is my sales mentor, so I always call up on her.
Excellent. Okay. All right. I sent you 4 words in your little chat box there. Sometimes they're hard to remember the 4 words, so I sent them to you. As a business owner and entrepreneur, put these words into priority order. Are you ready? Here we go. Employees, customers, products, systems. Put them into priority order.
Okay. So I would say systems, customers, products, employees. Of course, it's employees are the last.
And it's interesting as a digital marketing strategist, which is a huge follower of systems, that you would put systems first. Is that why, or did you put them first for another reason?
Yeah, that's why.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Okay, do you have your phone anywhere near you?
I do.
Okay, great. Do you have an iPhone or something inferior?
I have an iPhone.
Excellent. Okay, perfect. Go to your photo app. What is the last thing you took a picture of?
I took a picture of a note. So I just had a client call and I was taking notes. I was listing out all the budget that she needs to keep in mind for her live event that she's doing. So that's a picture of that.
Excellent. And go to your texting app. What is the last text you either sent or received?
I received a text from a parcel pending, which is saying that I have a package to pick up.
What part of the world do you live in?
Currently, I'm in San Diego.
Oh, a parcel pending. I guess that's like UPS wants to deliver a package. I wasn't sure if that was out of the country or not. That sounded interesting.
No, it's just a thing.
Kamila, if our Nice Guy community wanted to get in touch with you to take advantage of any of the services or the products that you offer, how can they do that? And do you have anything going on right now that they could take advantage of?
Yeah, totally. So you guys can always check me out by going to KamilaGornia.com/niceguys. So that's Kamilagornia.
Hold on a second.
/nice guys.
We got our own little, our own URL. That's great. You'll have to send me that so I can put not that I can't remember that, but I'll forget it or I'll spell it wrong. If you could just spell it for me, and
all good. I will send it to you.
Make sure we put it in the show notes. That is very cool. What projects? Anything new that you have going on?
Yeah, so something that I'm working on right now is I'm actually I've created a new program that's all about authority-based online marketing. So for people that want to be known as authorities and leaders in their space. So setting up like foundational things for online marketing.
Excellent. And we will put a link in the show notes how to get in touch not only with Kamila for her YouTube page, but for the Nice Guys link that she's going to include also. And thanks for being a part of the Nice Guy community and for being on the show today, Kamila.
Well, thank you so much for having me, Doug. I appreciate it.
Nice Guy community, never underestimate the power of nice. Again, special thanks to Kamila for being on the show. Steve O'Brien, go ahead and take us out of here.
For the Nice Guys on Business, I'm Steve O'Brien. Fill up your week with the Nice Guys. Have fun storming the castle, boys.